Gentle Anchor Podcast, conversations that steady the heart. Hosted by a mother and son, this podcast explores what it means to speak honestly across generations. No topic is too tender, just real conversations. Michele and Noah speak with honesty, curiosity, and zero taboo. It's not about giving advice or solving problems. It's about showing up with openness, listening deeply, and being emotionally available. Whether you're a parent, a young adult, or simply someone learning to listen more bravely, you're welcome here. Gentle disclaimer. This podcast is a space for personal reflection, honest conversation, and emotional curiosity, not professional advice. Michele and Noah aren't therapists, just a mother and son exploring what feels true in their own lives. What they share is rooted in personal experience, and they trust listeners to take what resonates and leave the rest. Stay anchored in your own truth.
What's up, Noah? Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Gentle Anchor Podcast. This is episode 5.
I thought it was 4.
I think this is 5.
You're correct.
I know.
You are right.
I do the editing, I'm pretty sure I know.
Sorry.
It's okay. I try to number them so I know what number we're up to so that I have it to keep track. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm glad. And seems like we're getting pretty good feedback, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm Michele.
And I'm Noah.
And welcome to our podcast. Today we're going to talk about something that is very big in Noah's life right now, which is like balancing it all and how he's handling all the things like doing college, handling money, handling life, taking care of his relationships and making sure that he's nurturing those and still, finding time for some fun and things like that. So it's all about Noah balancing life. And we're kind of going to talk about the things that, people don't generally talk about when it comes to these things. So we're hoping to, again, normalize those conversations and let you know it's okay to have them. And anything that Noah might say today, guys, don't feel badly about saying it. If you're a young adult and you're going through these things, hey, just as parents, we just want to feel you. We just want to help it any way we can. So maybe you can take something from what Noah and I say today.
That's the goal always of every episode is hopefully you guys take at least one thing away from this and start normalizing those conversations.
Yes, exactly. So we'll start with that drift check. Now, how you doing, my baby boy?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Like, good and bad at the same time, I think. I'm really in the middle of it all.
Okay.
Like, it's a lot right now. And
So
everything that they were like, that I've heard about that's going to be occurring is starting to hit.
Come in now. So this will be good. This will be a good episode then for us to try to talk about. And we didn't really prep for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be pretty raw, kind of.
A normal conversation between us and kind of how we manage those conversations, just me speaking freely, her giving me advice, me taking that advice, reflecting on that advice. And it's honestly kind of the flow that I would say typically have when it comes to those conversations.
For sure. So I'm sorry that you're feeling stressed.
Oh, it's okay. I knew it was going to come. I don't know. I just don't think that I was prepared for it mentally because I'm like, oh boy. So
sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll get into it though. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I had some issues with some of the class that I'm teaching. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm teaching a master's level class in nutrition online. It's an online class. And so I had some issues with some assignments. And so I had to take care of that. And
were they like, did you assign them incorrectly or did people just not understand them?
No. So the class that I'm teaching was already prepared and set up. And really all I had to do was just kind of transfer it to a new system and just post the stuff. But the new system has kind of given us a little bit of fits. And so doing that, I had to do some other stuff and help some students with something. Tabby, Noah is saying that because my daughter is in the class, the class that I'm teaching. She just happens to be in the class. So no, she did not complain. It was not her.
She would though.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's fine. It's been fine. It's been good. It's actually a really good outlet for me. It's,
you
mentally
sound like
challenging.
You're enjoying it. So
yeah, I do.
You're hitting that flow state.
Yeah.
It's fun, but challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a
So,
nerd.
thank you. Yeah, it's true. So, and obviously nutrition education is my passion. So,
That's true.
yep.
That's
So,
true.
okay. So we're both doing well, sort of.
We are thriving.
All right. So let's start this off. Let's just kind of, let's see, what is of those 3 things, 4 things, or whatever it was that we talked about, like, obviously classes, work, money, friends, relationships, things like that. I know the answer to this question, but right now, what's feeling the most constricting?
Honestly, it's like a mixture of two things.
Okay.
It's the fact that I have so much to do for my studying and homework and staying on top of my assignments and just my classwork
Yeah.
that with the amount of stuff I have to do there and then going to clinical, which is 20 hours a week, and then feeling the need to work on top of that, but not making enough money because I have all these other things. It's just layers upon layers. And I'm struggling with figuring out a balance for all of that.
Yes.
Um, and I've always been recently I've been pretty good about time management, or at least
Yeah.
like my senior year when I was taking 20 credits, 2 jobs, an internship. Like I was really good about time managing, but grad school is a different level of difficult.
Yeah. It's
And
a whole new beast.
not to say that I'm doing badly by any means. Like I'm doing exceptionally well at all of the things that I have to do.
You
I
are,
had
and I'm so
like
proud of you for
I'm
how well
doing
you're doing.
I thank you. That means a lot.
You're
I
welcome.
am doing a very good job. I just had a foot practical 2 weeks ago. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, and I got a 70 out of 79 on that.
Yes.
So I did really well on that. And then I had my cranial nerves practical that I genuinely thought that I was gonna fail, that I got
Okay.
100% on.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
So that
like
was something that you and I talked about, what, last week?
I
And
had
we were
that in person.
yeah,
And I genuinely thought that I was gonna fail that because I just was so overwhelmed by it because
right.
gave us a sheet, and this is kind of frustrating. Like I'm not dogging on her or anything, but just the frustrating aspect of this whole process was that she
What?
gave us a sheet to study, and then when we asked her about it, she said that we need to be referencing the book to make sure that we are using everything from the book, but also make sure that everything from our slides is inputted into this whole thing. But half of that wasn't on the sheet, so we basically created our own new sheet to study.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
then in our practicals, she said to all of us that we did way more than she would have had expected us to do.
Silly.
And so she's like, "You guys did a really great job," which like, great, thank you.
Awesome.
Now,
Thanks.
we've studied it, we know it, it's great.
Yeah,
But it's like, it was just the fact that the day before I had my practical, I'm like, oh, I have to figure out all these things
right.
and basically get them down so that I have it ready to go. And I was the first one to take it, so I didn't even know what to expect.
Right. So you
So
did
it's like,
great. I'm proud
but
of
yeah,
you.
so
Good job.
100% on that, which
That's
is
it.
really good.
Yay. Okay.
Um,
So
but
practicals
yeah,
work because
mhm.
you have a very
I
part-time job,
a very part time. It's like
right?
12 hours a week,
Right.
maybe.
So you have practicals, I mean, you have your practicals, which are within your classes,
Right,
right? You have your job, your very, very minimal job. You have your uh, clinicals, which is where you're actually out in the field of athletic training, like with other athletic trainers, learning from them and doing all the things,
right.
right?
Yep. So I'm with a men and women's soccer team here in
Right.
my area, which it's a D3 school. So that's really cool to kind of get that experience.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm loving that. And I'm doing great at that.
Yeah, you are.
But it's just the fact that it's 20 hours a week
Yes.
that I have to account for besides everything else.
Right. And then you also have which we've talked about, a very steady, wonderful girlfriend that you have to find time for her. You have really great friends that you are also trying to find some time for. And all of those things become how do you handle all of those things in a 24-hour period, right? So, how much time let's start with a day and maybe we have to expand it a little. How much time per day does your classwork take? Like not including your clinicals, like
Right.
just your classwork. That means like studying for those practicals, for being in class, any other extra time that you put into, homework and things like that. How much of your day does that take up?
I'm gonna just show you my Google Calendar for
Okay.
reference. Um, so oops, I shifted you. This is kind of my Google Calendar
Yeah,
for
that's
um,
okay.
and like it's not even.
Is that a week?
This is a week. So if I
Okay,
do this
that.
per day, so here's like today.
Okay.
So it's just like every hour there's something. So I just
So you
kind of want
have
to see, but
something going
it's
on.
just
Okay.
like luckily usually I have clinical today, but I don't have that today.
Yeah,
So each week I get an off day, which is really great.
that's good.
But so I'll go through it, and Google Calendar is my best friend, which the fact that I didn't know how to use that before last year is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Um, it's a bug, easily distracted. So I would say that I'm in class typically on Mondays, most of my time, like 3 to 4 hours per day
Okay.
of the days that I'm there. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm typically in class for about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours a day.
Okay.
So it's just in class time where I'm working on things, learning lectures, memos, practical practice, tutoring to sessions,
Right.
which I do go to tutoring weekly, which is really great, which
Awesome.
I don't think I told you about, but I do go to tutoring weekly.
Good. That's good.
So, because I've learned that I need a tutor, but
Good. I used to be a tutor
you did used to be a tutor.
for nutrition.
So just that is probably 4 hours. And then I try to give myself 2 to 3 hours of outside studying time if
Okay.
I'm available, if not more than that. So the days
Okay.
that I'm super busy. So for instance, this Saturday, I have 7.5 hours of clinicals
Because you have teams that are playing.
because I have teams that are playing. Yep.
Right.
So
Okay.
I have a game. So in the morning, that starts at noon to 7:30. So in the morning, ideally, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna do 3 hours of studying. So I would say that like per day, it's like I try to manage at least 3 hours of either working on something or reading my textbook or just looking over notes, just something productive, um, so that I'm utilizing my time as efficiently as possible.
Okay. So that's from your perspective, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think sometimes like you also have that like, perspective. Like my perspective as a parent is, I mean, obviously you and I talk a lot, so I do know that you have a lot of things on your mind. But I think it's easy for parents to just think, oh, they're just going through college. Oh, they just have these things that they're doing and yeah. But like the reality of it is for you that you're juggling all these things and as a parent, like we kind of just need to be more aware of the fact that you're actually doing adult things,
Right.
right? It's not just you going to college and partying and, hanging out with your friends and, doing the things that we always hear, but you're actually like doing all these classes. You're taking your time out of your day. You're working a job. You're trying to figure out how to do money because you're constantly calling me about money. Like, Mom, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right. Or even your struggles with like right now I have all these things to do. I'm struggling. Like how do I balance them? And as I think it's easy as a parent to like think, oh, they don't have real things going on. He's at college, right?
Right.
But when the reality of it is you're telling me you do.
Yeah. And that's the hard part about this stage in our lives is that a lot of people, I mean, to be fair, between like my undergrad to now, it's already at such a different environment, different like scenario. And my friends talk about all the time. They're like, there's no way that you're that busy. Like as we
And
speak,
they live with you.
right, as we speak, they're currently watching football, not
Okay.
worrying about homework.
Right.
I would
And
love to do that.
you're on this podcast with
Granted,
me.
I am taking time away from myself but it's something that I'm devoting my time to as well. So it's a different, like I very easily could be like, no, I can't do this. I have to be studying right now. But I moved this back so I could go get through some stuff at the library for a few hours.
Yeah. Which that's why we like to be flexible.
Right.
Um, so you texted me yesterday. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
You texted me yesterday and you said, Mom, I'm struggling. And I said, we're going to talk about this stuff on the podcast. Do you want to talk about it now or do you want to talk about it then and let it be real? And you're like, no, let's let it be real. So let's be real. Last night you said to me, I'm struggling.
Right.
What are you struggling with?
I
And
have
what did you want to talk about last night? Yep.
yeah, I wanted to talk about how to be better about devoting my mind to what I need to be working on.
Okay.
So I'm an easily distracted person. Like I've tried a lot of different methods to stay focused on what I'm doing, but as soon as one other thought pops in my brain, 47 tabs open up. So I was trying to read my textbook and I was barely like these are like 25 pages long chapters, if not
Yeah.
more. So it's like getting through them is a little bit more complex, but I've done a lot better job about not taking notes on them anymore. I'm just
Good.
highlighting sections that seem important. And that
Great.
seems to be helping. Fun
Good.
fact, little side tangent. We were in class today and he asked a question and I was the only person to be different from everybody else. And guess who was the only person that was right was?
You.
this guy.
Good job.
I didn't even read the textbook yet.
Nicely done.
It just, my brain was like, this has got to be the answer. But
There you
anyways,
go.
it's not changing. So it's just a matter of the fact that no matter how much I'm trying to create a plan, to stick to that plan, to work through all the things I need to get through, I fear that nothing is getting accomplished.
Okay.
And I'm taking very little away from the work that I'm putting in.
Okay.
Other than
So
when I go to clinical, everything that I go like hear and learn about at clinical is sticking with me.
yeah.
And I'm applying it to my classes. And I'm a very hands-on person, which is
Yeah.
why that's great. Also a
Yeah.
reason that I chose this profession because it's
Yeah.
very hands-on, but it's just complicated for the like the schoolwork side of it to be
Okay.
doing, and not playing the comparison game against everybody else who
Right.
is doing all those things.
Yeah. So you said some very great things to me at the beginning of this conversation, and that was that you were proud of yourself for doing well on your on your practicals, getting a 78 out of 79 and then getting 100 on the cranial one. And if you were not putting the effort into your schoolwork like you're putting in to your clinicals, you wouldn't be able to do that. And I
Right.
know that the reward from that isn't the same as the clinicals because the clinicals are
I'm
what's
seeing
going
every day.
yeah. And so, but you have to reward yourself for the small things too, right?
Right.
And those are the things that we talk about pretty constantly is don't take away from what you've accomplished because you can't always see it and it isn't tangible,
Right.
right? You're going into your classes, you're doing your classes, you're putting the effort in, you're reading, the work, you're doing the homework, and it is paying off.
Yeah, it's just hard to see because
And you
it's
don't
a
always
little
get to
thing.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can understand why it feels like reading a 25-page chapter of a book there's no reward from it, or it
Right.
doesn't seem like there's a reward from it. And so doing it, which is kind of what you're struggling with,
Yeah.
doing that work doesn't seem like it's worth it because there's no payoff, right? But the reality of it is that it is paying off. You're just not seeing it the way that you want to see it, And I think as far as like struggling to do the things that you need to do, I mean, your
I
calendar's a great
I do always figure out how to get it done. Like,
yeah,
I've never done anything. I've never turned in an assignment late. Like,
yeah,
I've had a problem with getting in. It's just a matter of people, the concept of working ahead or just getting part of it done. I I might be the biggest procrastinator that I've ever met, but I still get things done.
yeah. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. You just have to get it done. And I think that one of the things we talk about all the time is how hard you are on yourself.
Right.
You're way harder on yourself than anybody else is ever going to be,
Right.
right? And
Especially, sorry, go ahead.
you have that pressure to be the best. We talked about this, kind of came out in that heavy
Yeah.
episode, right? You have that tendency to want to be the best. You have that tendency to put that pressure on yourself to do everything to the best of your ability. And that is great until it's not.
Until it takes over, which is
Until,
pretty frequently. It's
yes.
kind of funny that you're talking about that because I was having this conversation with my girlfriend today and I was telling her about the whole thing about me answering correctly in class. And she was like, I don't think that you give yourself enough credit for the things that you do know and the things that like those small wins throughout the day
Yeah.
because you're always just being too hard on yourself for what you didn't know. She's like, you're complaining to me right now about getting that answer right because you didn't say it like the correct answer the smart way the way he said it. You said it
Right.
your way in which it made sense in your brain. And though it may have not been what he was looking for, there was still some truth to it.
Yes.
And 100%, she's on the money with it. I was frustrated today because I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about, but yet somehow still got the answer right.
Good.
So am I doing enough? And that's where a lot of that came from is clearly I'm doing enough, but because I know things,
Yeah.
I'm starting to put two and two together somehow,
Yeah.
but not the way that they're teaching it. So I'm like,
So
I
you
don't
don't
know.
think it's right.
Right. So in my brain, I'm like, well, I was just a lucky guess.
Yeah, no. It's not that. I hate to tell you.
So yeah,
It's not that.
like for instance, he was talking about using electrical stimulation. because so right now we're going over electrical stimulation in our therapeutic interventions class. And so how
Okay.
we can apply that to different injuries and just like the purpose of it and like what all the different parts are. Because I don't know if you knew this, but there's like 8 different versions of electrical stimulation.
I knew there was more than one. I did not know
Right.
there was 8.
And each of them do a different thing.
Okay, cool.
So we were learning about the differences today and like applying it to humans. And he was asking about when you have an acute injury, so an ankle sprain. He goes, when you have an acute injury, if you are to put stimulation on it, do you think that you need to increase frequency or have a lower frequency to reach that area? Because you're not going to put it directly on the ankle. You're going to put it like
Right.
around it or, towards it. And in my brain, I'm like, well, I'm not going to put electrical stimulate like into the body part. Like that's just going to hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just think about this. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
And so I answered in class, I'm like, oh, like a low frequency. And it was,
Yeah.
okay, like what about everybody else? And they're like, well, you would need a higher frequency because it needs to travel to a farther place. And he's like, when I was your guys' age, I thought the same thing, but it's actually a lower frequency because the excitability of the edema is going to, and the fluid is going to actually send those waves higher to that body part. So you can just have a lower frequency and it does the exact same thing. And I'm like, so I was right, but I didn't do it the right way.
That's okay.
So
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and those are those small wins that you have to take
right.
away, So, yeah, I don't know. I think that you need to, and we haven't used your girlfriend's name, so I won't say her name, but I don't know if that's something that she wants. So,
Probably not.
yeah. So, but that's why we love her because she is really
Because she thinks
good.
clearly.
She's really good at recognizing your insecurities.
Right.
In certain aspects. And she's very good at talking you through those insecurities and
Talking
making
me
you
off the ledge.
recognize that your insecurity actually doesn't have to be an insecurity because you are better than you think you are. So that's why we love her. One of the very, very, very many reasons why we love her.
Right. It was actually interesting though today with that because
Hold on as I thank you, Noah's girlfriend.
it's all right. She told me she's not listening to these. So.
Well, she should.
I know.
Anyway.
I was in an interesting conversation with her today because in the process of talking to you about this last night, without actually talking to you about this last night, because we're going to save it for today, I was trying to talk to her about it, but also my video's kind of lagging right now. So
Okay.
We're good. So as it was kind of like as I was having this conversation with her last night, I was struggling at how to communicate my feelings because I'm just pissed off that I can't figure this stuff out, that I'm struggling. Like, I don't know, I didn't know how to communicate it because sometimes it takes me longer to think about it. And anyways, I went to bed in a crabby mood instead of talking to her about it
I'm
last
sorry.
night. No,
We
it's not
should
your
have talked about it
It's
last
not your
night.
fault. I should have just talked to her better about it than I did.
Yeah.
And so I woke up and I was running late for class because I woke up kind of late.
Okay.
And I guess that I woke up and I was being super short with her today.
Oh.
And that was not my intention. I just was not in the mood. I was just in a crabby mood. When you go to bed on the wrong side, go to sleep on the wrong side of the bed and wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Right.
And so she texts me. She's like, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting a sense that you're in a not so great mood and I kind of need to know why. I was like, fair. And she's like, you're just being super short with me. And I'm kind of wish you would just say that rather than make me figure out why you're in a bad mood. Right. So like, you were so on it. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just struggling. I'm so overwhelmed right now. And I'm like, I'm not trying to utilize this as an excuse, but I'm feeling that with you, it's just so easy to not have to put on that fake smile.
Yeah.
That it just came directed at you, and that wasn't my intention.
Okay.
So I did apologize for that, but she's like,
good.
Just tell me next time. And I was like, sure, of course.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So the other thing but you're feeling better today.
It took me a few hours, but I'm feeling better because I've been trying to study for my next practical that's this week.
Okay.
I have a practical and an exam and a simulation.
Okay.
Well,
So
the simulation's in 2 weeks, and then my next I have a practical one per the next 3 weeks, and then with those I have exams on top of those. So I have like 6 things in the next 3 weeks.
So you're feeling a little overwhelmed.
Like, excuse me? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But you're doing okay to work through them.
Trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that you brought up last night was money.
Yes.
Right?
That was also stressing me out last time.
Yeah. So you are a graduate level student, and graduate level students get graduate loans from their schools,
Hmm.
but sometimes those graduate level loans don't cover the
For out of
cost.
state students.
Right, and Noah was an out-of-state student, but they also don't, they cover tuition as much as they're supposed to, but there's also other things like, because you are doing a full-time, you have a full-time school schedule and clinicals and working very part-time, you don't have enough time in the day, as we just said, to work a regular job and make regular money. So
Like
those
I
loans.
usually that I would in my undergrad.
Yeah. So those loans have to also help pay for your apartment, your food, your extracurricular activities, all those things. And so we were talking about and your loans haven't been dispersed yet.
One of them has, the other one hasn't.
So we were talking about how that's making you feel. And so how are you feeling about money?
Uh, I'm just frustrated with money because I'm not used to not being able to work enough to at least be covering the expenses that I need to support myself.
Okay.
And I have enough right now, so that's not like the problem. It's just the fact that rather than almost staying even, which is what I would like to be right now, I just kind of keep losing per month
Yeah.
because I'm covering like half of my rent with my
Loans.
almost full, like, I'm essentially what I would be making normally, I'm making half of. So I would be making my rent plus enough for food, and now I'm technically on like, by the end of the month, I'm only making, like, half food, half rent. So it's just kinda stressful to have to use those loans that I took out last time to cover, and it's just seeing that I'm gonna be needing those because, again, next semester, it's probably not gonna cover enough. So I'm just feeling that even though I'm okay right now, at some point it's going to hit a wall.
Okay. So
And so that's worrying about the future, which is something that I'm really
yeah.
good at. I don't need, like, I'm okay right now. I'm
Yes.
perfectly, I'm
We talked
fine.
about this.
Right. Like, I
You
am genuinely fine.
you are fine.
Especially
So
until those loans do hit. Like, I'm
yes.
in no need for panic, but in my mind, thinking about how to be successful in these things, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to find time to take away from my studies to go work more time. Maybe I need to not have time to myself to maybe go work more. Like, the things that are important, it's just finding that balance. And I don't know, navigating that is difficult in my mind. And I'm sure that other people feel the same way, but
Yeah, no, it's a general struggle. It's a genuine struggle. And to that, I would say, number one, we're always here for you.
right.
And so in the great scheme of things, don't worry about money, but that doesn't help. I say that just so you know it. But number two is that, as much as the money is an issue and you're feeling like, you should be working more, the free time is just as important,
Hmm.
if not more important.
Right.
And so taking the time, saying to yourself, hey, I'm only working 12 hours a week at my regular job. Maybe I have, 4 hours here, there, or whatever that I could actually put back into, working my job and take away from the free time. I don't think the trade-off is there. The extra 4 hours that you might work is not worth the free time that you get with maybe spending time with your girlfriend or going to play disc golf or, whatever it is that you're finding enjoyable. Because in the grand scheme of things, you're doing all the things that you can do so you can enjoy life.
Right.
And if you're not enjoying life and you're just trying to make money and figure all that out, then what the hell's the point?
Isn't that a part of life though?
Well, it is, but I also think that you're 21 years old and you need to just have fun too.
Right.
Like that's the mental part of it.
Right.
I don't
Which
I
is
don't
not something that I'm willing to compromise.
No, I don't think there's a trade-off. I don't think that
Right.
it doesn't balance. You wanna be like this, not like this. You want the scales to be in your favor, not
You want that
against you.
equilibrium.
Yeah, you want them to be the same. And so I don't think that I would have told you this last night, and that's gonna be my answer no matter what. And it is just make sure that you talk to somebody at school and find out about your loans, so your loans get dispersed. But
Right.
in the meantime, you have time. It's okay. We don't have to worry about that yet.
Yeah.
We're not at the point where it's critical, right? So don't be thinking about going to work at your very part-time job even more.
Yeah.
We don't want your very
'Cause
part-time job to become a part-time job.
if I work the amount that I'm supposed to be working, my calculator,
It's okay.
I should be
So
making half of my rent.
that's fine.
Yeah, so by the end of the month, I should have my rent cut.
Good. And then the other thing that we need to talk about when we talk about this money kind of thing is your food.
Oh,
Yes.
I want to talk about
So,
food.
yeah. So you were telling me that you're budgeting, what, $100 a week? $50 a week. 100
$50 a week. $50 a week.
for food.
60 if I'm being, the more I think about it, it's about $60 a week,
Okay.
which in my
So,
brain for a male is pretty good.
but you told me within that, you also told me that you're not eating enough or well. You're like,
I'm just tired of the food that I'm eating, and I'm
yes.
probably not eating enough, but I'm doing okay.
Okay. So what's mom's major?
Something about dietetics, probably.
Right. So when you start talking nutrition is my major. So when we talk about nutrition and you say to me, I'm having
Mama,
issues.
I'm lightheaded because I didn't eat enough today.
Exactly, dude. So that's the part of the budgeting part. I understand that you are on a limited budget, but one of the things that happens with students when they are in college and balancing their own lives and figuring things out is that the food falls by the wayside. This is well known. There's studies, like I could go through the whole thing with you, and you know that. So what I'm saying to you is that I appreciate that you are budgeting some money for food. I don't think it's enough.
See, when I read your text, I thought you were saying that I was spending too much money.
No,
I see.
you're not spending enough money on food.
I see.
Yes.
See,
So
because I was kind of complaining to a few people saying that you were telling me that I'm spending too much money.
no, absolutely not. Let's clarify. No, you're not spending enough money on food.
Okay.
Okay? So I don't know how you think that $60 a week is enough money for you to have 7 meals, 7 dinners, 7 lunches, and 7 breakfasts and snacks
I'm
in
supposed to be
between.
eating all that?
My son, don't even
Hell
start
nah.
with me.
I
Right.
don't even eat breakfast because I get up too late.
Right.
You know what I've been eating for breakfast that'll last me 4 hours? An applesauce.
That's not enough.
I know. Well,
It's
to be
carbs, but it's not enough.
yeah, but did you know that applesauce typically only lasts about 20 minutes of quick energy?
Yeah, because did you know? We're talking, did I know? Son, so
Mother.
we need to work on budgeting more money for that.
I will
Okay?
see what I can do.
Okay.
It's one of those things where in my mind, if I buy the food that I've been buying and I eat the way that I've been eating, it lasts me 2 weeks, which has been the goal all along. That's why I've been getting away with $120 every 2 weeks.
Anyway, so let's move on. So we've talked about the things that are stressing you. We've talked about a little bit of the struggles that you're having and why you're having those struggles. And we talked a little bit about money. So the last thing that we should probably talk about is how are you dealing with all of those things, right? What are the things that help you to stay sane that you need to do in order to try to avoid those struggles? And, not just those anxiety techniques that we use, but the things that you do for fun. So what are you doing? Like, yeah, what do you do to separate yourself from the school aspect, the work aspect, the job aspect, the money aspect? What do you do to get yourself out of that funk?
I try to pick one fun thing a week,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Or like make plans to do at least 1 to 2 things per week
Okay.
that are outside of what I think that I should be doing.
Okay.
So like last week, I played intramural volleyball for a day. Not the whole day, obviously, but like one day. And then I went to the homecoming game and hung out with my girlfriend on Saturday
Okay. Nice.
instead of doing homework on Saturday.
And when you're doing those fun things, are you actually able to let go of those struggles and stresses?
If I'm playing volleyball, yes.
Okay, cool. Where your mind's entertained.
Yeah, when my mind is entertained, yes. But like when I'm with my girlfriend, I'm venting to her because she's an open space. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of venting to her. So like a lot of the things I am stressed about will typically she and
Sure.
I will talk about.
Yeah.
But as for like other things, I don't know. It's hard to 100% of the time let go.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes when I am playing volleyball, people will ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
I don't think it's ever gonna go away because we all, we're humans and we like to interact and we like to ask each other things. But I think if you're able to, 85% of the time that you're playing volleyball be concentrating on volleyball, then that's good,
yeah.
right?
I think
Or if you,
having the games rather than the practice, like just the playing for the fun of it aspect
yeah,
does, because my
yeah,
competitive side comes out,
which is great for
which is,
your,
yeah.
yeah. So maybe trying to find other things that can do that to your mind, right? Just finding something else to stimulate your mind in a different way.
See, that's the problem is that I'm noticing that for me to be stimulated, I
Mhm.
have to be doing like a lot.
Yeah.
I have a hard time hitting that flow state, doing like things, I don't know, things that I used to do. So,
So, well, I mean, like, we talk about drawing, and I think that there's difference to like doing drawing, and those are good for the mental aspect of it.
yeah, of
But
course.
I think for the entertainment part of getting yourself out of the just away from the stresses of school and working, the sports are great because you
Yeah.
love them. And maybe like dragging the boys out to go play some disc golf or going golfing, and I know that costs money, but like sometimes mom's
Yeah.
willing to give you a little bit of extra money to go do fun
I
things.
kind of hung up the clubs, when you like hang up the towel. I
Okay, well,
kind of had to hang up the clubs a little bit because I kept spending the money,
yeah,
but I never kept getting better.
okay.
So I
Well,
kept getting just frustrated.
okay, so
And
maybe golf isn't the
I, w-
answer.
I was told to maybe try a different sport because of how frustrated I would get from
Okay.
it.
Hey, try bowling.
Low key, I do like bowling.
So do that. Yeah. Okay. So my suggestion is to find something else that you can find a real true outlet for, right?
Okay.
That you and either the boys or you and your girlfriend or double dates, whatever, can go do for fun.
I went and got
Yeah.
some Applebee's the other day. That was fun.
Nice.
I had a
Very
really
good.
long day and I was like, I need an Applebee's lemonade.
So yeah. And then I think the other thing is like, okay, so when I give you advice about things and try to help you through them, do you feel like that it's helpful, or do you just wish I would understand it from a different perspective?
I think that's honestly really helpful. I think that the best thing that you do is that you listen and then you ask, or then
Okay.
you proceed with advice or just thoughts. And I think that a lot of parents should try that
Okay.
because I've noticed, even like for my own, when I'm listening to my roommates talk, the best thing that you can do is you can just let somebody feel heard first.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that you do a very good job of just letting me speak my mind because you'll go, they're like, okay, what's going on? And I'll tell you. And then you're like, okay, anything else? And I'll tell you. Okay. Are you done or do you have more? And then I'll either say, no, I think that's it. Or then I'll be like, well, actually, there's one more thing. So then we'll just create that open up the conversation where it's just dot, 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 dot. And then it's, okay, let's just break this down one by one and hit every part of it. And even if the first section takes 3 hours to talk about, it never
Right.
has, but to be
No.
excessively long with that. If it takes a very long time, typically 80 to 90% of the time, I feel better about that part. Okay,
Good.
there's some stress that's gone.
Great.
Now let's move on to the next part. Okay, you feel good about that? Cool. Now let's move on. And then, third, and so forth. As a whole, do you feel better? Yes.
Right.
Okay, great. Is there anything else any of the three that you're feeling that you then want to further elaborate on?
Yeah.
And I think that process wasn't how it always was. It
No.
definitely, it wasn't one of those things where it was kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I think that you giving me the space to just feel my feelings
Yeah.
has definitely helped me learn how to communicate about them more effectively.
Nice.
And it's helped me to learn how to conversate and just it's honestly taught me a lot too, because then when as I said earlier, I'm a hands-on learner or like I'm a visual learner. Just doing and seeing has
Hmm.
helped me in my conversations to now where I do very similar in my relationships,
Good.
where I give them, like Daniel the other day, one of my roommates had. he he had some stuff going on, and so I could tell that he was a little bit frustrated, and everybody else was out, like, gone, or in their rooms were gone. So I just looked at him and said, "Do you want to talk about it?" Or, and I knew what was wrong, so I was like,
Yes.
"Do you want to talk about it, or do you just want to sit in silence?" And he thought about it, and then opened up the conversation, and I just let him go through, talk everything out. I asked questions about something if I didn't understand it, so I could then understand it, and then we proceeded to have the conversation.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where, and I feel that in the last 3 years, 4 years now, he has also kind of done the same thing,
Oh, good.
and I
So
think that
I'm teaching you and you're teaching him.
yeah,
Good.
I've noticed, like, today I was in a really pissy mood. He walks and he goes, "What's up with you?" And so I just like, "Ah," and he's like, and he just listens,
Nice.
and then proceeds to talk about things. So
Nice.
it's,
So,
you know,
yeah, I think that that is the key to all relationships and conversations is listening, right? You cannot be effective in anything you do if you're not willing to listen.
no,
If
you
the
cannot.
and there's differences. There's differences between listening. There's listenings to react,
And
right?
listening.
And there's listening to actually listen to be able to offer advice
Mhm.
or just to be, right? So a lot of times in a conversation, we will listen, but then we've already thought about something else we want to say. If we're the listener, we're thinking about what we want to say and how we want to react rather than just sitting in the moment and listening. So when you talk to me about your struggles, all the things that you've got going on or whatever, we're just having a conversation, I'm listening because if I don't listen, then I can't help you. So there's a difference. Yeah.
There's a big difference, and you can tell who is doing which kind of listening. You
Yep.
can very easily tell. And granted, some people are very quick on their feet.
Hmm.
I feel that I'm one of those people that can listen to listen, but I also am pretty quick about what I want to say with it.
Right.
I think that you're also the same way, but you just do a better job at listening than I do. Because there are times where I will be sitting and I will 100% have something to say before anybody else is finished.
Yeah.
So I catch
And
myself
that's
doing both,
natural.
but it's just natural.
It's natural,
So
but I think in those hard conversations, the difficult ones when you're talking, a, a kid through something, as a mom and son, like when I'm talking you through something, I have to be very patient and aware of what's going on with you so that I can listen well and be able to give that advice. And you said something to me earlier today that we're not going to get into, but you said it works both ways. And so I'm glad that we're able to have those conversations both ways, right? So that I do know that, yeah, you come to me a lot with all of your things, but I can come to you too. And I think that that's where the open conversations, the normalizing the conversations between moms and sons can also have a benefit, right? Because as moms, our lives aren't perfect. They're not. I hate to tell everybody that life is not perfect.
see, I think the moms know that. I think it's the kids that don't know that.
Okay. Well, guys, your moms aren't perfect. So have a little grace with them. So, but I think that moms have can have that fear of, I have to be this perfect mom for my kid. And then they feel like, well, maybe, if I'm perfect, that means I don't bring my struggles to my kid either. Right. But the reality of it is that, they want to help you too,
Do you know
and
that
they want
I
to be there for
enjoy
you.
when you bring me your struggles?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it
That's
makes
exactly.
me realize that, one, it doesn't get easier. It's just this is
I,
how it is. But two, as an adult, I'm allowed to be having struggles when I'm your age.
yep.
Like
I'm a human being.
it's teaching me that I'm gonna have hard times when I'm a parent.
Yep. So,
And that's just perfectly okay.
yep. Exactly.
Nobody's asking our parents to be perfect. And if they are, then we need
I
to
wanna meet 'em. I wanna meet 'em.
be cutting our parents some slack because they
I
do a
wanna
lot
meet 'em
for
if
us.
they're perfect. Anyway, anything else you'd like to say?
Although
Okay.
I was laughing because when you said I have to be patient, I was like, oh no, the one time that you're patient.
Yeah, I'm not patient.
I
I'm
know
not a
that's
patient person. So, yeah, that's kinda gonna wrap up the episode for us today.
that was a long
And,
one.
what?
So that was
It
a
was a little
long
bit.
one.
Yeah, a little bit. So, you're on.
I'm on my Donkey Kong or what?
You keep, forgetting the gentle anchor part.
Oh no, man. It's not pulled up. I'm just here. I'm just
That's not. Noah calls me his gentle
I'm
anchor.
supposed to, something about like, she's my gentle anchor. Be open to having conversation with people. Be willing to listen and find your gentle anchor. Doesn't have to be a parent, but it can be somebody who you trust, a friend, a sister, a brother,
Anybody.
a puppy.
Yeah. Anybody that you feel safe with.
That I think I was something along the lines of what I'm supposed to say.
Yep. Exactly. Not supposed to. We just hope you will. We appreciate you listening. Every voice needs a safe harbor. Until next time, stay anchored in connection. Noah, will you lead us out with all of our socials?
Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. Like, comment on the Instagram. Like, comment on the Facebook. Like, comment, and subscribe on the Spotify. I don't know if you can comment or subscribe on that.
I don't either.
Because I'm just thinking about our socials.
And the
Gentle
tiki-taki.
and the tiki-taki. Gentle Anchor Podcast. Follow us. Good night.
Yeah. Peace out. Thank you all for listening. We love you all.